is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 16 of Guardians of the Galaverse. We didn't do it yesterday because we had some technical difficulties, but we guaranteed today, and it's a bit earlier than scheduled because some people needed to reschedule, which was fine. Works out perfect for everybody, and it's nice to have an earlier episode for once instead of like the 9-10 o'clock starts. But I see C-Money in chat trying to be a bot with the sound alerts bot. Then what's up, Teleport Labs? 8-bit Tendies is here. I don't know why you're posting with, what is that face? I need to go to YouTube to check that out. And Prospector, good morning, good morning. So how are we doing today, guys, should I say?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Good, belly's full. Shadow, Khaos, you guys good?
So the technical difficulties and the demand for an early start are both down to me. Technical difficulties, my SSD blew up last week, hence not being on the podcast last week. Sorry about that. And
if you quickly mute your browser.
My tech buddies 10 hours to get my computer working yesterday.
Clicked on some shady links, I heard.
Oh, you stay away from them Korean porn sites, man. Like, that's how you come here,
specifically Korean? Oh, I see how it is.
No, I'm speaking from first-hand experience, bro.
From first-hand.
That lady shit that popped up on my computer, or in the headlock.
That's where you was when you couldn't play Legends before in the past.
I also had technical difficulties yesterday because my OBS was messing up. So it's not just on you. What was this about Legendary Born? You couldn't play in? I continue. I still want to hear.
I was just throwing some shade at him.
Alright, cool. Whoa, SSD blew up? Yeah, it actually blew up. It was sad. It was after an epic Helldiver session too. So me and Khaos were like, what happened? Everything was going so good and then bang. But enough of the intros. How you guys doing? You know how the drill. The first section of the podcast is the ahead of the game summary, which you can find on my X or Twitter, whatever you refer to as, every week. I have been doing it for 51 weeks in a row now. So next week will be 52, which will be the year anniversary of me starting the Twitter threads. And I might end it there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I can play Legendary Born now since you're all here on stream. Oh yeah, legit. 3 of the main Legendary Born people are here. But the thing is, C-Money, I control everything and they just have their screen. So they could actually still be playing Legendary Born and responding to you. You never know. Gamers can multitask. So if you see them in chat, you can know why. Alright, let's switch over to...
Sorry.
Alrighty, let's switch over to this, and Windows capture should be speed dial. Does it not come up? Oh no, not already.
I'll take a week off and it's all gone to pot.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. It is working. Ah, Shadow, if you can mute your Cam Pro browser. I'm hearing an echo.
Is that better?
Yes, perfect.
I've gone to pot, not you.
It's all good. It's all good. I didn't know you were one of the top 3. I was talking to 8-bit, but I'm top 27, I think. Last I logged off, I was like 27 in terms of normal ranking. 8-bit plays quite a bit, you know. He's top 5 last I checked.
8-bit's a real one. I reckon.
Yeah. You have all the Legendary Born people like right
of the tournament. There. One of the tournament favourites for my pick would be these 2 on the stream.
Okay.
I see how it is.
I want to boost my confidence a bit. Okay, I'll take it.
Thank you. Why is it here?
All right, let's start off with the thread. So thread ahead of the game, episode 51, as always, on my X. So anyone who participated in the Uniswap airdrop previously could have a chance of winning a mystery box. So there's an email sent out, and it did look like a scam email because it said connect your wallet. So anytime you send out an email, do not have connect your wallet or claim airdrop, because people would think it's 100% a scam. But there was one of them that was a legit email from Gala saying that if you did participate in the Uniswap airdrop, you could have a chance to win I think Razor, or was it a Go Music mystery box? Can't remember which mystery box it is, but you had a chance to win one. Did any of you guys win one, or did you see the email and thought it was a scam?
I see the email, thought it was a scam, just blown up my SSD. It wasn't taking any risks.
Yeah, there you go. Fair. That is a fair point.
Yeah, man, they gotta figure that out, because every single time they send out an email like that, everyone always thinks it's a scam. They're always posting in there, and still, even when they say it's not, I'm just like, I don't feel good about clicking.
It still reads like a scam.
Is there a link from the announcement? That would be so much better.
There was no Discord announcement, no Twitter announcement, and it says connect wallet, and it's like, I'm good. But so if make sure you check the emails, make sure it's the right email. Do not click on the email link, but then go over to like Discord, and there should be like a link that one of the moderators have posted to see if you've won the mystery box.
Yep.
And next we move on to Gala Film. So update, episode 7 of Razor will be out on Sunday. So today is Sunday, so I guess it should be out fairly soon. And you can get rewards for watching. So Gala Film in terms of Razor is participating in May Mayhem. Every time you watch that week's episode, instead of getting 1 mystery box, I think they give you 2. So if you watch all the episodes for each week, you'll get 8 mystery boxes instead of 4. We still have to do a watch party. Someone sneakily watched ahead of us. So I guess me and Shadow will...
Whoever that is, man, let's come back. Come back for doing that, man.
I had no computer, so it definitely wasn't me.
Yeah, but...
Oh, really? My computer was acting up as well. It couldn't have been me either.
Yeah, but we'll get a watch party going for you guys. Don't worry. I thought Neff banned all the bots. That must mean you also got banned, C-Money, no? Who's the bot you're referring to? Moving on.
You know, now that it's like up and running, Gala Film, does it tell you how many views the episodes are getting, or is it like Netflix? It's just all hidden behind closed doors?
Don't think so. We can check that out real quick. Just go to Gala Film. I don't think I'm logged in though, because I think you have to log in to access quite a lot of features. Go down here. You just go to the Razor tab.
How do you plan on doing the watch party? Like, are you gonna live stream a watch party, or are you gonna like host it within a Discord?
Yeah, so I will go live in Discord. You watch the stream, so everybody gets the same feed, and then that feed is replicated to the stream.
And I won't on the stream just run it in the background on silent, so they still get the rewards.
Yep, I recommend people do that. But yeah, and then whoever wants to join the watch party will be in Discord. I guess we can have it live, like with open mic. So if something epic happens, you're like, oh shit. So you get like reactions. And then if you want to pause, you just say pause that, and we can talk it through if you want to do it that way as well. But based on what Shadow was asking, I don't think it shows you how many people have watched it. I know when you leave it running on the background, this comes up with a like time bar and then the number of minutes watched, and it will tell you if you've watched it or not, but it doesn't tell you like overall how many people have watched it.
Perfect, yeah. I was just curious.
It does have quite a lot of other things like updates, features, so you can get like the updates directly about Razor here. And then the store is where you can buy mystery boxes. So there's like this pack, which is $3.99, or this, which is $80, but it gives you a whole bunch of other stuff. I haven't really dived much into Razor mystery boxes or the film side. So make sure you guys read what you are buying when you buy the mystery boxes, TNCs, like especially, well, nobody reads TNCs, but I think you should just in case. And if you do buy anything from Gala Film Music or games, make sure you use the link in the description. It's the easiest way to support the channel and the content. But moving back on to the thread or ahead of the game summary. Say that again?
Well plugged.
Yeah. I gotta get used to this shit. I just like gladly, naturally rolling it off the tongue. Moving on to the next gaming side of updates, the first section was an interview with Tony from Voyager talking about the season pass as well as several other things related to the game. So a season pass is coming to the game, and I believe it's one of the ways you will be earning in Voyager. So make sure you go to their Discord. I believe it's RFLX Studio. I'll just quickly scroll down here. Yeah, RFLXT Studios. There is a link in the ahead of the game summary where I posted the Discord link. So make sure you check that out, or I'll post it after this video goes when I can grab the link when I get a chance. So join their Discord. Anything about Voyager is over in there, like how anything about Gala gaming side is in Gala's main Discord. Then you can see here, there's Anita and Tony having the interview. And I think that was one of the only images I did for this thread. But moving on to Last Expedition. Last Expedition's Get Mission Ready build has just launched. It launched on the day of the thread, and they played a small trailer for the update. This build also includes the new features, which are bots. So if there's not enough people playing, you can spawn 3 bots and you can get them to play with you and defend you. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as players, but they still provide a much needed meat shield for the higher tier difficulties. And I think you guys should also be able to hear audio now, and I've changed my setup. So this is the trailer, and those are the bots that you can summon to help you when you play solo.
They're smarter than Khaos.
What you mean? I'm not a bot. I'm the main guy. Well, technically, I'm not Alice, so I'll be the Sebast bot. We need to play some more.
Shade back. All the grief you give me playing Helldivers.
What you mean? I trained you to be a steadfast cadet. Sorry, what is it?
Have they nerfed that grenade in
Yes.
the one that
So I was testing it when the build went after the thread. When we jumped off, I just quickly logged in, and you can now only hold a maximum of 3 Gaia, and the bait ball costs 2 to craft instead of 1. So you can't infinitely spam it. The only way to do that is if 2 teammates, either a Sebastian and a Jasper, because they could both craft bait balls, you need at least a minimum of 2 to get the same usability as the previous build, which makes a perfect sense. Good balance change. They didn't reduce the duration of the bait ball. They didn't increase or decrease the spawn rates of Gaia. They just increased the crafting requirement, and you can only have 2 instead of 3 in your inventory now. So you have to throw it and then craft and throw it without having like a backup of reserve. Because before you could just have 3 and then throw them like every 10 seconds, and you'd have like a 35 second window of like no enemies on you, because they'll be all at the bait ball location. So that was a good balance change. Good to see. When Last Expedition stream, C Money is saying, I guess we can get the boys together and do a Last Expedition stream. There should be one coming fairly soon when we talk about LFG, but stay tuned for that, C Money. So feel free to go play the new Last Expedition build, guys. Have any of you tried it out, or are you just going to test it out probably next week?
next week.
Nah, man, I'm terrible at shooters, so I've left that one alone.
Oh, is that why you're playing Legends Reborn?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I said that like because I'm terrible at shooters as well, first person shooters, whatever, any shooter, to be honest. And so I played Last Expedition, and like even though you might not be good at the game, like it's so much fun. Like you kind of like bypass all of that not being good. Plus you're in a team of people. Like so if you're on a good team with like Shadow or Smiling, they can carry you. They definitely carry me. Like every time I died, the motherfuckers were there to revive me. So yeah, but I would say definitely play like because I was like I'm not gonna play it, man. That game's not my you know my cup of tea.
Cup of liberty.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, because it's not a straight up just kill the other opponent. It's more like team based extraction strategy. So yeah, I can see where there could be some fun. But yeah, I gotta try it out. I gotta run it again because I haven't played since shit, man, like probably the last time we had like a creator playtest. I think that was the last time I
Oh
played
shit!
it. So.
Let me
The
check
graphics
when that
updated.
was. 5th of October 2023 is when the last Edition creator playtest was.
Ooh, damn.
Has it
Yep.
been glossed up a bit, Smiling?
Say that again?
Has it been glossed up a bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. The new build it's getting ready to almost go into like an open beta, you could say. Because in the previous build, you had access to like fully upgraded skins and all the characters. And now that the new build, you can unlock characters. So you're actually progressing, right? You get one free character when you log in at the new build, which is like a free character coin. And then you start earning like a yellow coin, which is basically like credits. And then the more you play the game, the more credits you get. And I got like an average 500 a game. And a new hero costs 22,000 credits. So if you just play like 44 matches and extract, you can get a new hero, which isn't bad. And this was like low to medium difficulty. So I'm guessing if you play like, you know, like a get wrecked server with like max mods and max difficulty, you'll be getting more rewards. So to unlock all the characters would probably take you around less than 100 matches based on the reward system. So they've got that section up and running. They've got skins now. I can showcase that real quick as well. If we go to the galagames website, which is gala.games.com, or apps.gala, which is the alternative one, but now everybody is using games.gala.com. So if you go to the Gala Game store, you can see right here the skins that you were playing with in Last Expedition in the previous build are now legendary mission ready skins that are available in the store. And the good thing about these skins, for a legendary skin, it's going to set you back $20. So compared to the previous pricing models, this is amazing compared to the previous ones. Like $20 for a legendary skin is in line with Web 2 standards, like a $20 package or $14.99 or $15. So it looks like this game has the biggest potential because they don't have a lot of pre-sales to back up to. They did have like the node sale and then like the creature sales, but their value is for the node operators, and that is going to roughly stay similar. They did do the mystery box sale, which had quite a bit of creatures. So there was like a little, well, not hiccup, but there was a little thing happening there. But for all the characters and skins related stuff, it's a good like price point. Like I wouldn't mind paying $20 to get like this type of skin if it separates me. Like gamers like to pay for cosmetics anyway and to be unique. So $20 for a skin is a good step in the right direction. Like, would you guys pay $20 for a skin?
Yeah, I mean that's not bad, dude. That definitely aligns with Web 2, like you said. It's far cry better than paying $500, $400 for a
I was
skin.
going to say I've paid a lot more for a lot less.
That's a good price point because like I'm not expecting it just seems like, you know, $20 I could throw at something. I'm not really expecting to get it back. It's anytime you're paying a few $100s or $1,000 when you're like really like focused on like what's the utility of this thing or how am I gonna get something back from this. But $20 is just like kind of like throwaway money, so I like it. It's a good price point.
Sure, it's like this. This NFT for, I guess, Common Ground World is $350. So compared to the pricing of different games, obviously the different games, different genres, different type of NFT structure. But if it was priced at this, I don't think it would be such a good offer compared to what it is right now. Nobody's paying $350 for a Last Expedition skin. That doesn't give them any benefits in game. That's just a cosmetic overhaul of what they were playing with before as well. Because this is the skin that you were playing with. If you log in now, you've got like a basic rundown model, like a t-shirt and a backpack. So this is the upgrade compared to all the new people coming in. But if you were playing the previous build, you've been running around with this. You don't see your skin per se because it's first person shooter, but your teammates will. So there's also that to factor in because I play MMORPGs mainly, and those are third person views. So I always see my female character and her bunny costume and, you know, like all the good things there. But since this is first person, I won't be able to see that. So you're actually buying the skin for other people's benefit since you can't see it yourself. But yeah.
You get to see the cleavage.
Oh yeah. I angled the camera at one point down, and I had to send the photo to a moderator because if you angled it at a certain point, you could see things on the 3D render model that you're not meant to see. So yeah, I had to take it up with authorities.
You snitched on yourself, is what you're saying?
I had to, bro. I had to because it was in a video.
Wow.
And I was like, oh
you
shit.
ruined the game experience for many other players.
No, you could still do that, but then it was just covered. They put like a giant thing in front of it so you couldn't see it. But yeah, I've done all of that shit. And I always get the bunny costume or the maid outfit, or what was the other one? There's another good one. Can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a really good costume in the game that I was playing. But moving on to Common Ground World. So week 2 of Mayhem has just started. They have listened to the feedback and adjusted the prize pool, which is good to know. Because previously, if you were in the top 1,200, you would get the nice big chunk of the prize pool. And then 1,200 to 2,500 was like peanuts compared to previously. So they have adjusted the prize pool by feedback of the community. New NFTs will be hitting the store tomorrow. And for the full list of updates, make sure you head over to Discord because Common Ground World has quite a lot of updates every week based on competitions, and you can find all the updates over on Discord. So make sure you go over to the Common Ground World Discord. And the light paper can also be found on Discord. So finally, the light paper is live. You can read it and find about all the information over on Discord. If you do play Common Ground World or Townstar, which it was known as, make sure you go over to the Discord and have a gander at the light paper. Also, I believe guilds are now live in Common Ground World. So if you own a Common Ground World node, which if you don't and you want one, you can find some on NFT Harbor. They're going for fairly cheap right now compared to what they were sold for previously. I think it's a couple $100. If you have a Common Ground World node, you can form a guild, and then the next competition, I think not this week, maybe next week, don't quote me on that, but the next competition would be just for guilds. So to participate in that, you have to be in a guild, and to be in a guild, you need to have Common Ground World node, and then the guilds will have the ability to like rent and lend NFTs per se. But I think only the guild leader can do it for now, but in the future, everybody should be able to do it once you upgrade your guild or something along those lines. So for all that information, make sure you check the Discord, or a quick plug to Dubstep Rod's channel. Make sure you just go to his channel because he is the go-to guy for Common Ground World stuff. Any of you guys played the Mayhem for Common Ground World or looked into the light paper at all?
Nah.
This panel is just legendary born guys. It's like 1, 2, 3 legendary born guys. That's it.
We got our style of game, and that's it. We stick to that.
I play CA top 15.
Yeah, there you go. I think I've been bumped down to top 30 now. I was top 20 or 25, and now I'm down to 30 because I sold some Zafrina Soulstones. But yes, CA surprisingly has turned itself around, which is just mind blown compared to all the other potential options that Gala had. But props to the CA team and Liam and whatever they're doing. Keep it up. You're doing a good job. All right, moving on to the game that the panel likes the most, Legendary Born. So the first week of Mayhem has been completed. Congratulations to the winner. I believe Wayu Romi won for most matches played, and somebody else won for most matches won. I can't remember who it was. Do you guys remember the name of the two winners?
Is it Neto or Neto, something like that?
Oh, something Nate? Was it?
Let me quickly go to the Discord announcements to congratulate the winners, because each one of them won $500, right? It's Gala, and then we go down to...
Well, we're gonna have Womi on the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be epic. Womi and Shadowknyte in the same place at the same time.
Oh God.
I don't know what is that.
The best stream. We probably have the most watched stream ever. Like,
yeah, and just let them go at it. Yeah, Nasty Nate.
There you go. There's Wilmy and Nasty Nate. They each won $500 of Gala for being the player with the most matches played and the player with the most matches won. So congratulations to those guys. Ah, there you go. C Money
Being
also
the
said
best
it.
players
Nasty
in the
Nate. I skimmed over that part. I didn't want to upset the panel. You know, I got to keep your guys' feelings in mind.
Hey, look, yeah. If I wasn't playing Helldivers, that's all I'm saying. I wasn't playing Helldivers for that week.
So you're
Might be
indirectly
different.
throwing it to me, yeah, because I'm the one that got you into Helldivers.
If it
I'm
was
just saying, you owe me $500. Like,
if it was rank 1, not just who can play the most games because they haven't got fuck all else to do, this would be a different story.
Well, that brought in a bot problem basically. That kind of.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I
Let's
didn't play
talk
that
on
much.
that. Yeah.
The
'Cause-
most games one I get, I can see like the angle that they was coming at for that.
Hmm.
But it shouldn't have been most games played and most wins. It should have been most games played in hoping to get some new people in, and then rank 1.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that backfired on them, bro. Because like a bunch of bots came in,
Yeah.
and then every time you were just matching up against, it was obviously a bot because they had like the same play style. They would unload all their creature, or they would unload one creature at a time, and then they would
Do
take
one
forever
move and let the timer run out. They
Oh,
did.
don't forget they
always win.
put random emotes as well, like 3 random emotes, and then wait for the timer to run out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played 2-3 bots, and I was like, I ain't playing Legendary Born because of the bot problem. Like each game was taking 10 minutes longer than it should have because the timer was running out. So congrats to
there was no bots though, which is good.
Yeah, it looks like they got rid of a lot of them because I started matching up against real people, but the wait times are longer. But I prefer that versus matching up against a bot every time, because like you don't want to quit because you're gonna lose points, but you know that match is gonna take forever. Even though you're gonna win, it doesn't feel good like winning against a bot anyway. You know, even if they at least if they played at least as good as some of like the actual bots when you go play, you know, a hard level bot within the game, but they were just super easy. So that totally backfired on them.
Did you
And
say
another thing
something,
with the
kid?
bots as well? Like people were farming bots. Like, a lot of people knew that the bots were running rampant on the ladder. Like, and there's certain people who, if you got like the right deck, if you got like a high powered deck that's just gonna do a lot of damage. Like with me, I was running on my magic deck, and I was banging out them games in 10 minutes, sometimes even like 7 minutes if I went first. And I was like, I could see how somebody they was doing, they could sit there and just farm bots a hell amount of wins. Because if it wasn't for the bots, and I'm not gonna on this.
I think you're cutting out. Is anybody else?
Pretty.
Yeah, you're cutting out for me, buddy.
If you move the mic closer a bit and then re-say what you said in the last 20 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah. So I'm like saying there's certain people who were like farming bots, and I was on a rant, and but like yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If it wasn't for the bots, certain people wouldn't have got all those wins. Like, cause even me, I'll be honest with you, like I jumped on and I was like, bro, it's only bots playing, so I picked my magic deck and I was just fixing the bots. Like I was just really quick because my magic deck was so high powered. I was ending games within 5-7 minutes. There's certain people that had decks like that and they were just farming bots. If you had taken away the bots from the beginning, like certain people wouldn't have all them wins, you know, because they would have been playing real players and it would have been more competitive and it would have been a true indication of how many games would you have really won if the boss wasn't there. So
And there was a big asterisk about when they started releasing the Excel workbook and like the games just being like off, like people knowing that they'd played more games and that they wasn't being recorded. Like it was just such a fast. Like it really put me off. Like if my PC hadn't blown up, it probably would have got thrown out the window.
Well, before the tournament started, or before Mayhem started, I'm pretty sure we covered it on the podcast and said this model isn't going to work because this is what's going to happen. And as soon as the week started, a flood of bots came in because you set the criteria to most matches played. And
it
seems
even a flood low, mate. It was like sub 10. just because there's so little players. You just got them all the time.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Gala has a problem with how they reward certain competitions or their reward structures based on like previous examples of like previous May Mayhem, the Miranda situation, this one, and the prices have dwindled. So it's not a lot of people are coming back for May Mayhem, whereas 2022 and 2021, I believe there was 2021 May Mayhem, both of those were amazing because they were in bull run Mayhems. And then 2024 this year and 2023 were in bear market Mayhems, and they did not compare to 2021 and 2022. So a lot of people were like, oh, well, yeah.
We already know what we need to do to get the title out of here. You know, me and Khaos have been speaking about it for about a year, and then 8-Bit has put some serious work in to ChatGPT, and come up with a brilliant suggestion, like trying to bring people in from other titles with a view of like, this game's coming out, you guys are TCG players, get involved in the game at this stage, and you can actually have some input into development. And it still is at an early enough stage for that to probably entice some people in. We just need Gala to run with it. Like, it is the only way the game's going to grow outside TCG players. It isn't going to grow in the Gala bubble. This isn't.
Well, leading on to that,
I really want to see. I made it as easy as possible for them to just go out and start just even sending some emails, because what we need from them is basically the authority of Gala. You know, because like us sending out an email, you know, from some no-name person or low subscriber account or something like that, that's not going to make an impact. But if we can use their authority or their connections to reach out to these people and just lay out what I laid out for them, that's all they need to do. So I gave it all to them. Like, here's a list of players, here's the games they play, here's even a templated email. Of course, you can change it up however you want, but like, now we just need them to just hit the send button, you know, and see what happens.
You've literally done all the groundwork. It literally just needs to be put into action.
Exactly.
Someone just has to copy and paste it in under Gala's name.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about in that in just a sec, because the news that we'll talk about after the thread has been complete is like, now Bitbender has moved on to another company, and that he will be dealing with quite a lot of this. Yes.
Everybody know already.
Yeah. What are you talking about, bro? This news has been taken over the Discord and Twitter for the last like 24 hours, and people have been going crazy because one of the articles said Bitbender was the CEO of Gala and that he had left to be an unpaid advisor. And then some people saw that article and be like, oh my God, Gala's gonna end. The CEO has left, when actually Eric Schirmeyer or Benefactor is the CEO. So they've confused the chief blockchain officer for the CEO, and it's just been weird. But we'll show you that article in just a sec as well.
Class journalism.
I know, right? It's from a known, like, big name source as well. So I'm surprised they publish it. See Money talk about with LFG about that. Yeah, so that is what we'll get into in just a sec. Let me quickly go through the last couple of changes, which is PokerGo Play. Week 34 sweepstakes winners have been announced. There is still a delay in the expected winners of week 32 and 31. So if you are those winners of those 2 weeks, please be patient. They will get with you and the rewards will be distributed. For Champions Arena on Tuesday, they played, Champions Go Gala Games played Champions Arena on Tuesday, and it was Sinister going through the game again with his, I believe it's like rank 20 account, so he's showcasing quite a lot of the features at low levels. You can get one of us on if you want to showcase a level 80 account and high level arena like me and Shadow. As he said, rank top 15, I think I'm rank 25 now. So yeah, feel free to send a message. Family Man, yo, what's up? Just got home, guys. Welcome. And Chad Dixon, Helldivers is elite. Helldivers is amazing, bro. Like, me and Khaos are hooked. We play almost every day, minimum like 2 to 3 hours. And then we do all this other extra shit. It's like, oh, let's get the Helldiver shit out the way, and then we do all this other extra shit.
For the democracy.
Yeah. I threw in a joke earlier, like spreading liberty, but I don't think you catched it. You know the new like liberty when you're talking about. I can't remember what you're talking about.
Oh, right.
See, you gotta get on it. Gotta get in, soldier. But yeah, then that concludes the thread on Ahead of the Game episode 51. So now we can move on to what I was talking about, or what we were talking about earlier today, which is Bitbender, or Jason Brink, aka Bitbender, did this post, and this post has basically blown up in the Gala community as well as all the other communities. Quite a few people have spread news of this, and I'm just going to quickly read it for you guys. I have some great news for everybody in the Gala ecosystem. I have been with Powered by Gala, which is like Galachain's Twitter channel, I believe. Not a gala.games, the main one, which is like 400k followers or likes, for 4 years now, in fact, and I've just passed the 4th year officially a couple of weeks ago. I believe so incredibly strongly in the ecosystem that I have decided to make a change in the interest of decentralization and community growth. The image below, not the one of the barbarian, but the one of the Slack message, was posted in the Gala Slack by me yesterday, and take a second to read through it. So I'll read through that in just a sec. This is the barbarian one, and this is the one that we'll read through in just a sec. But LFG. Most people, let's go. Shadow, first thing when LFG is said, what comes to your mind?
Let's fucking go.
Khaos. Same thing? Let's fucking go. Khaos muted?
Khaos is zoned out.
Yeah, legit.
Well, hell dive, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
What?
he's held diving in the background.
He's put himself on loop, isn't he?
I
Yeah,
don't know what you're talking about, man. I was,
zoned
I
out.
was watching this Korean female website.
Oh yeah, the Korean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see how it is. Yeah.
What's the SSD?
The question was, what comes to your mind?
You can,
The question was, what comes to mind when you say LFG?
to my mind, let's fucking go, man.
Yeah, so when I first saw this, everybody agrees on the panel. It was like, let's fucking go. And I was like, cool, that makes a lot of sense. Like, let's fucking go. Or if you play MMOs, it's LFG, which means looking for group. So I was like, wait, both of those are kind of weird. What it actually means is we'll read and tell you what it actually means, and you can compare and see like which one you would have preferred. But what this means is that some of your favorite Web3 narratives from Gala are now working together outside of Gala to build the galachain and node ecosystems into something bigger and more decentralized. At LFG, or LFG Incorporated, so dedicated to the growth and expansion of the Gala ecosystem, you can find it right there. It follows two people. Who's it following? CBC News and Evan Solomon. Is that a hint for something? Do you guys know who this guy is? Publisher at G0 Media, Management Committee, Europe, Asia. All right, I guess, I don't know. It's not like, yeah. I guess we'll deep dive into that for just a second. We want to help onboard people to Galachain and help them develop and deploy node networks. So the main objective is getting people to Galachain and deploying node networks. In the spirit of decentralization, we believe this should be able to be done without ever hitting Gala, the company, or Gala, the company platform. Tech from Powered by Gala should make it possible soon. And so we at LFG leaning into that and building out the infrastructure to support external teams and projects separate from those that are under the Gala corporate umbrella. This also means that we can do stuff which we could never do while at Gala. We can advise groups much more efficiently, directly, facilitate greater control to help you and your group accomplish what you want to do with the Gala chain ecosystem. I have devoted my life for the purpose of growing the Gala ecosystem, so much so that I'm willing to take this step with this team of pioneers into Web3, some of which have been with me for a decade, to take this fight to the rest of Web3. I don't know what you're fighting, but it would be easier for us to stay at Gala as employees and continue to collect paychecks. But we feel that the best way to grow this ecosystem is by working more closely with those outside of it to bring them on board. Gala is bigger than just a company. It is bigger than just people reading this message. It is bigger than a corporate entity. It is all of us together, the company, the community, the fan, the player, the listener, the watcher, etc. We are all in this together, and I am going to do everything I can to help make this party bigger. So let's go with LFG. Well, that should be looking for group now, which LFG stands for Let's Fight Giants, FYI. Not in most people's heads. It's like looking for group or let's fucking go. I would have much preferred the other two. Or since they're finding people, it should be let's find giants. Let's find people that could turn into giant people building on galachain instead of let's fight giants. It sounds more combative if you say let's fight giants instead of like let's find giants. Just my input there. But reading this Twitter post, what is your guys' thoughts on that? If you haven't read it already, if you did when you first discovered it. Start with Shadow.
I mean,
start 8-bit then.
Go on 8-bit.
Yeah. Off you go, good sir.
I mean, like every time they drop some big news, it kind of brings more questions than answers.
100%
So
agree.
even like with like the naming convention, like I agree with you. Like it's confusing in the beginning because like everyone assumes let's fucking go or like let's find a group. But like optics, when you break away from Gala and then your name is Let's Fight Giants, I immediately like assume like you're fighting against like Gala as the giant.
I did also assume that as well. It's like let's fight giants.
Yeah,
what is
so,
the
like,
giant you're fighting? Gala? Like the company you just left? Like even if you don't intend of it to be that way, people will process it that way. Quite a lot of people. It'll be in the back of their head.
For people who aren't within the Discord and aren't like listening to your explanation and your reasoning for it, and they just kind of hear the news, that's pretty much how it's going to sound like. It's like, oh, you left the company and now you're saying let's fight giants, and that I would assume that's Gala. So like I don't know about that naming convention. And then like there's just so many questions around like why aren't you able to do any of these things that you want to do, these initiatives, while at Gala as a paid employee? Because now there's like this weird, like kind of like it feels like there was a core group within Gala that disagreed with another core group or specific people as to like what the main strategy should be for them. Because it seems like, and again, that's why it seems like it's like let's fight giants, because like it seems like he keeps referring to like Gala has like a different perspective as to like what they should be doing. He keeps like saying like they kind of have like a Web 2 approach. So like that makes me more curious as to like who at Gala has this Web 2 approach, and what is that Web 2 approach to like kind of onboarding people? Because he's saying I'm going to branch out and kind of really focus on like a more Web 3 focused approach to onboarding people onto Gala. So it kind of makes me curious as to like there just seems to be a whole different vision from Gala and from like this core group. Also, the other question is like, damn, like if you're able to pull like 15 people away, and also you're not getting paid by Gala anymore, like as he stated, he's using his own money, his personal money. How much runway do you have for this? Because are you paying 15 people out of your pocket now? And how long can you do that before you kind of run out of funds? Because like I don't know how the payment model is going to work for them. I'm guessing when they onboard somebody, they get some sort of cut, commission, or royalty from that. I don't really know. So that's why I mean, like, it kind of brings more questions than answers.
Yeah.
But it's concerning because, like, again, at face value, you have all these people that are just leaving and pouring out of Gala. And, like, Bitbender was one of those where people were like, man, if Bitbender leaves, it's kind of, like, over. And now it's not only Bitbender, it's, like, Neff and Chair Bandit and all these other guys. And so who is really left now? It's kind of like, who's in charge of Gala? What's happening? What's their actual vision versus like what's your vision?
Bennett's
So I don't know.
gone,
It's weird.
but he's not gone to LFG, so that's like another person gone. It's like,
Wait, Bennett's gone?
yeah,
Who was this?
I see something in Faz Academy about it this morning.
Oh my god.
See?
They said like, you know, are you going over to LFG? And he was like, no, you just put it this way, you won't see LFG after my Discord handle anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like
So now it feels like there's three
People-
groups of like something like happening at Gala.
And is it
I-
spun up like a you know, a sales team? Like you know, like 8-bit said, like how sustainable is not just putting bread on your own table, but bread on 15 people's tables.
Well, the description
I guess
of the
we just
Twitter
need to
says dedicated to the growth and expansion of the Gala ecosystem. It doesn't give us information of like what it is, what it will do, what the objective is to grow and expand Gala, and based on that post, it's to get people onto the galachain ecosystem and to get node networks up and running. And I guess Gala and this group are still in favorable terms based on what everybody's been saying in some of the posts that I'll show you in just a sec. But yeah, what was you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, the interactions from, you know, like normally when people leave Gala in the past, they're like outlawed and banished. Like the messaging between Gala and Bitbender and Co has been extremely positive, and it does seem extremely Gala focused. The reason for the change, where we just aren't seeing how the sausages are made. We're here surmising like, how's this sustainable? How does this make Gala better? You know, it's kind of like you need like a time machine to go like a year down the line and see how it all shakes out.
Need more information. Need more communication.
and again, it shows and kind of confirms that like there was definitely some sort of core disagreement in strategy within Gala itself. That even like to the point where like Bitbender has to like get out of the business and start his own company to like unblock some sort of roadblock. It's just weird because like it's like you know, like again, like if Gala it's like what is Gala focused on? Like the Gala now that's left over. That's what I'm curious about too.
Good, yeah.
What is Gala focused on? What is their strategy? If let's say LFG wasn't around, like they just left. So now what's left at Gala and what is their approach? Because isn't their whole thing that now they're really trying to push galachain? So now you have a separate group that's pushing galachain, and then what is the main Gala doing as well? Are they also pushing galachain but just in a different way?
Like
I don't really understand what the Web 2 difference is. Like, what is the Web 2, Web 3 difference of like onboarding people onto galachain?
Like if you got a games company, where are the new games? Like
they're no longer a games company.
Games.
They're now a layer 1 ecosystem, as they've repeatedly said quite a few times.
But there is a gaming division.
Yes, which they've apparently died down.
A film division. So where are those three entities going? Like you can't have a gaming arm that doesn't bring in new games. It just doesn't make
100% agree with you. Family Man says the three groups. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was like, bringing new games, bro. They need to just fix the games.
They need to fix their current games. Yes.
Like, I mean, we were talking about LFG, but like, what kind of did it for me with Gala was the whole Miranda's thing. The LFG is just the fucking draw, you know, it's the show that brought the cameras back. Like after Miranda's and PD, everything else, like I was just like, this is the first time that I've been in the Gala ecosystem where I'm just like, I don't even know what to do, because I was talking to Smiling the other day and I was like, you know, yeah, I'm actually annoyed with myself for going all in on Gala. Like, even though people tell you to diversify, but I was like, on paper, Gala's the shit. Like in this, in their, you know, space, their genre, whatever, they're killing it. So why would I go anywhere else? Like, and I was telling everybody, telling everybody about Gala. I was selling NFTs to people, telling them you'll buy this one. I told my friend to buy the fucking Lantern of the Sun for like 10 bags, bro. 10 fucking bags. And I'm scared to even go tell her that, like, hey, yo, they just fired the whole fucking dev team. They got these
Oh
niggas in
man.
Chile building the game now.
Lantern is
Like,
now worth
yo,
2 bags.
so this is the first time, like, I've been in English. I'm just like, I'm fucking nervous, bro. Like, because after this, I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head
I'm
there.
nervous.
It's like what's happening now? Like it's a weird kind of sentiment now in the Gala Discord. It's like what is there to look forward to really? Are we just kind of looking forward to them fixing I guess some of the core games and then just looking forward to like just a bunch of stuff being onboarded from third parties? You know what I mean? Like because like for example, like people who were a lot of people were looking forward to Mirandus, but Mirandus, it's like the way that it's going, it's like people lost a lot of hype for that, and that's now years out. You know, playtest.
Well, there's meant to be a playtest happening right now, but since they did that Medium article saying they've hired a team to accelerate the development of the game, which has indirectly stopped the development of the game and backdated it by God knows how long. Which makes no sense, because if you're trying to speed up a game, we should be in a playtest right about now. Like, there should be that Q2 playtest that everybody was so hyped, as you're saying, for. Everybody was like, going to be, okay, I'm going to play Mirandus again. I'm going to see the progress. It's going to be amazing. And then Q3 and Q4, we're going to get skills, masteries, like be able to get Materium, all of this shit. And it's like, yo, we've just hired the Chilean dev team. They're going to take over by making the game process faster, but you don't have a playtest, and now you got to wait for a roadmap. Now,
it's the same thing. Like we're here for the games.
Yeah,
it's like last month we was having a conversation. Like the Legends developers come out and was like, "Oh yeah, we're not actually doing anything with the game at the moment. Like we don't have permission to do anything with the game." And it was like, "What? What do you mean?" Oh yeah, no, we don't have authorization to change anything or budget. And it was like, you know, we kicked up a fuss about that, and then that kind of reversed, and then obviously like Mayhem brought in a little bit of hype before it launched, and it's like that is a game that has easily potential to get players in, and it's like it's clear and obvious, like we discussed about half hour ago, what they need to do to achieve that goal, and it's like if they don't bother doing the one thing that will make the game a success, how they going to make future games a success? Because games aren't just going to turn up with thousands of players. Like it needs recruitment for that to materialize.
You either need good marketing so people actually see your game and come to play the game, or you need good gameplay and then gamers will spread the word by mouth. It all comes back to marketing in the end. You either pay for the marketing and get your game name out there, or you make a really awesome game and the gamers will spread the word about that game. Like Minecraft. Like Minecraft had no advertisement. It was just like, oh, I played this game. It's amazing. And then somebody told that to their friend and their friend. And before you knew it, it like blew up. Like quite a lot of those type of games.
Like playing devil's advocate, say we come off this podcast and they reach out to us and say, guys, we want you to grow these games.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently only attracting people in the Gala ecosystem. We're saying to attract people to these games, it needs to be outside the ecosystem. We're happy to do that for you, but you've got to give us some parameters. We can't just be spending our time going out and, you know, knocking down doors for just to find out, oh yeah, that game's we're shutting that game down just randomly. Like we need to be they need to be on board with us for us to be able to help them. Like basically like help us help you if that's the path you want to go.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's
it's like but look, it's like Khaos said too. Like Khaos was so hyped about what was happening that he was telling friends, and then now look at what happened. Like you're telling friends to buy NFTs and spend money on these things because like this dope ass game is gonna come out, and then now it's like look at what happened to the game, and like now you're afraid to tell your friend what's going on because it's like it doesn't look good. And so yeah, like even if like Gala came to us and was like, hey man, yeah, start promoting the game, it's like well, yeah, but also
Where's the
I don't
game?
know if I want to. Yeah, because like I don't know what's really going on, and then it really just becomes this really just kind of like paid shill thing where you're really just getting paid to just shill whatever they're saying. But at the end of the day, like you can ruin your own reputation easily if
Oh,
you just
100%.
start shilling stuff that goes bust. Like again, that's why I stopped making a lot of the content because it's like I'm talking about games and then they go bust or like they're not around anymore. So it's like I'm not gonna keep recommending that, especially to like my Web 2 friends. Like I got a Discord that with friends I play, Web 2 games in, and like sometimes I mention these games and it's like if they ask, hey, what happened to that game? It's gonna be embarrassing to be like, well, yeah, game's no more. It's like, oh yeah, I knew it, I called it.
That's what Helldivers is for. You tell your Web3 2 games to play Helldivers. You play Helldivers with them. And then you hide all this Web3 stuff because right now it's not looking good. But I was saying with the Shadows point, LFG is like the marketing agency that's partnered with Gala to start doing all of this stuff, right? To get all these games out there and to get people onboarding to galachain. Now, gaming isn't going to be their main focus. Their main focus is galachain. So anything that they want to bring to galachain, like medical, financial, dApps, apps, whatever, gaming, they're going to try and help. So it does come back to what you said though, is like Gala needs to be on board because these games are under the Gala umbrella or the Gala corporation. And if you want to make those games better, you need to know that Gala, the company, is going to develop these games, is going to put time and resources into these games, and is going to make sure the games get up and running to what they were promised and a live service model where they continuously get development. Now, if LFG gets people in, but Gala doesn't deliver on their side, and the game goes bust, like 8-Bit was saying, then your reputation is going to be ruined. It's like, oh, you got me into this system, even LFG, right? Because if LFG actively promote, let's say, Legendary Born or Superior or whatever, and then something bad happens, they're going to be like, oh, well, you actively promoted this project, and then this happened, I want my money back. That's the first thing anybody says, right? Is like, this happened, this was the thing, this, give me my money back. And that is another issue as well. Like we're in Web3, so the blockchain, it's not reversible unless you're buying with credit card and some other things that I won't get into. But yeah, once you've done a transaction, it's pretty much final. Let's quickly go over some comments and then we'll move on to the message that he put in Slack, as well as some other posts that he's responded to get a bit of clarification. So if I just want to scroll up, Family Man says the three groups are Gala, the Nebulous, LFG, and then everyone else that Gala has burned. After you fire more people than you have retained, it's hard not to think that the problem with Gala, the problem is with Gala and not with the employees. If Gala doesn't take off now, C Money saying if Gala doesn't take off now that it's going to be game over without LFG. Yeah, so LFG needs to start getting people in because they no longer have the bottlenecks of being under Gala's umbrella or corporation, and they can start doing things more Web3 style than Web2. Because if they do it Web2 style, it's like a whole load of legal, and then people got to sign off on stuff, and then it gets delayed, and they don't see like, oh, I should put money here or should I put money here, and it's like a whole like mumbo jumbo process. And Family Man says nobody is going to build on a chain that can't manage to deploy external validators. I think that's what was in the blueprint based on ISO chains. I believe Pipenta called it ISO chains, but we'll have to wait and see what that is. And then prospectors coming in for real. They have a game that is at least in beta, not something that will be built only if the people buy enough NFTs, and don't let people call it an investment. Yeah, that's another thing, controversy. Then Teleport Lab comes in with, I think the main issue with Web3 gamers is that people need them to work out. If a Web2 game goes bust, you can somewhat say you weren't trying to get anything out of it, so it's not an external crisis. That is also true. Some of these Web3 games you put like a couple of grand into, and if it goes bust, you can't get that grand back, and you are basically going crazy. Prospector says because they don't want people asking for their rights to the profits. Just saying, man, the last 3 years has felt like that. Oh yeah, well, there's quite a lot of things that have been felt over the last 3 years, Prospector. But let's quickly move back onto the post that we have to read, and then we can go back to discussions. So this is the Slack message that Bitbender posted in the Slack that only certain people have access to, or I guess Gala's internal Slack. Hey Galaxians and everybody at here, I'm dropping this note here to share an update with everyone about some of the exciting changes here happening at Gala and soon outside of Gala. Over the last few years at Gala, we have built some pretty amazing teams. We have also seen the world change around us, and now it makes sense for us to evolve, get ready to embrace new opportunities, and take the next steps of our plan to decentralization. To that end, I am going to be shifting my role at Gala from president of blockchain to being an unpaid advisor. There are a number of people who will be also resigning from their positions at Gala to form an external organization, LFG, which we said was less Vice Giants. So it says that he's stepping down, and quite a few other people from Gala have also stepped down to join this group, which we did discuss some of them previously. This group will focus on bringing new projects into galachain and node ecosystems by providing services to a wide variety of the new interesting partners. LFG, an external org, will help partners plan out workloads for nodes, design the tokenomic structures, help users understand the power of the decentralized galachain and gala node technologies, advise on node sales, integrate with exchanges. Integrate with exchanges. So their token, or if they make a token, and the nodes will be able to integrate with exchanges. So I guess some exchanges are already on the list for Gala integration, build communities, and a lot more. I believe very strongly in building out a decentralized ecosystem. I devote my life to this purpose, and to help make this happen, I am leading the LFG team on this mission. Don't be alarmed though, while working on LFG, I will remain as Gala as an advisor, but an unpaid advisor, as it says right here. Gala is bigger than just a company, it's bigger than a group of employees reading this message, and this was what you said in the X post right there. So it looks like they're basically a separate company helping people get and build on galachain and setting stuff up, and some of their revenue will be like a cut of this basically. So like, oh, we'll help you set this up, you give us 10% of like node emissions or distributions or whatever.
Yeah, but like it's so confusing, because like if you read that paragraph on like this group will focus on, it's like, why can't you do all those things while being a Gala employee, like under the Gala employment banner? Why do you have to separate yourself outside of Gala, unpaid, to be able to do those things? That's like the confusing part for me. It just doesn't make sense. Like, what roadblock is happening at Gala that doesn't allow you to do all these things? That's why I like, and like as much as Bitbender and Benny say like there's no money issues, that's why like I have that suspicion that there is, because like, you know, how we mentioned earlier where like Gofu was saying that, you know, there's limited budget in Legends Reborn, and now we're getting rid of the Miranda's team. And in Ahead of the Game, he was talking about how much we were spending a month on Miranda's itself, and now we're going with a cheaper team that we can get more bang for our buck, and we're getting rid of all these employees.
People being laid off outside of the team of 15.
Yeah, right. So that's what makes me feel like it is some sort of money issue. And like, if I were Bitbender or some of the people who still believed in Gala, and like there was that conversation of like, look, man, we're not getting a lot of inflows of money coming in. We're gonna have to start laying off some people. I would then get creative as far as like, okay, well, what can we do then? It's like, well, okay, well, what about if we you know, you don't have to pay us, we'll branch out. We'll start our own thing, and then maybe we can get a cut of sales towards the Gala ecosystem, because like that's what he knows. That's what Bitbender knows. He knows Gala. He knows he's been working towards this for 4 years, and like I you know, because how do they make money right now? They make money on NFT sales and nodes, or selling Gala. So like, what big NFT sales have we had in like the last year or two that would bring in a big inflow of money? How much money could they really be making off of selling Gala? It just has to be outflowing like crazy, especially if they have to keep paying all these people and there's not a whole lot of movement and traction happening. Because as far as third parties coming in, how many third parties have really come on? There's Voyager, there's kind of Rep that's in the background, still don't really know.
There's Metaflora Labs, which we had on a guest previously about the cannabis industry, and that's another one that's building. I think I saw two more pop up on X saying building on galachain, and it was like a project name, and like they're doing this. So far I've got a handful of like 5 or 6 that have went public, so they're building on galachain.
Yeah, and they're in the process of building, right? They're not on board and locked in on galachain at the moment, right? They're just like working their ways into the ecosystem. And again, we don't know how much revenue that actually brings in. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's curious. It's a little weird. I'm unsure of.
Everybody's unsure right now. We have a couple more comments. One from Teleport Labs. You cannot separate the incentive to try to get something out of Web3, sadly. So even if it's fun, making money is even more funner. Yeah, that is true. People do love making money, and especially in Web3, right? You get into Web3 to like, oh, Bitcoin's gone up. Let me make like a quick 10% or 20%, and then you actually get into it and discover a bunch of other stuff. That is the majority of the route people get into Bitcoin. They don't get into Bitcoin for technology. The first incentive is always financial, and then they discover all these other things. Prospector says they made an actual marketing team, which is good because Gala has never done any big marketing stunts previously. So I guess LFG is like the marketing team of Gala. But then the question is, Prospector, is they don't have money given to them by Gala to do the marketing. Bitbender said it is all going out of his pocket at the start, like the initial team. So he's funding 15 people plus himself, plus this project, plus the business, plus anything else that they need as expenses to get this up and running. So that isn't like, oh, that's like a couple of grand. No, that's like a couple $100K to millions, depending on how much runway you want, as 8-Bit was talking about. Like, for example, on a header game, they said the Miranda's team was like 900K to $1 million a month. Now, you're not hiring 30 devs to make a game, but say we take a fifth of that and say the expense is like 200K a month. You need to have a reserve of like 2-3 million just to make sure you make it through the year or the next couple of years, and then expenses for whatever you need to do. So it always comes back to money, right? First thing that people think is like, oh, how are you going to make money? How much money do you have to get this project up and running? And why are you doing this? You can't be doing this out the goodness of your heart. There must be something that you gain from this. Now, this isn't my point of view, but this is what everybody else thinks. This is the general perspective of how people reading this that are not in the Gala ecosystem, that don't watch like the GG Collective podcast, our podcast, any of the content creators that cover Gala, and they just see like an article and be like, oh, what the fuck is this? One of the articles that we were talking about is this one, which we'll go over in just a sec, but let me quickly finish the comments. So Family Man says either BB or CB confirmed that the issue is that Gala can't make suggestions to people deploying on their chain that would directly benefit Gala as a company, securities law stuff. Okay, so if that is one of the issues, that makes 100% sense that they need to get LFG up and running, because then LFG can say this shit and Gala's not directly saying it, because Bitbender and the 15 people that left are no longer working for Gala. They are a separate entity and they're advisors to Gala, so they're not part of... If you go to this image real quick, go here. So Bitbender still has his mayor role. He's still galagames Plus, and he's still a Gala Gold member. He still has a special Bitbender role, but he has changed his About Me. So he's now put advisor part of the Berserker, no longer part of the Berserker. So he is now an advisor. He's not, but he still has all his roles. So it's not like he's left Gala. They haven't kicked him. It's not like a bad leave, as with some of the previous ones that we have seen. Is like all the roles disappear. Like they just go ghost. They go under the radar. So he still has quite a lot of stuff. Now, We go down to Teleport Labs. Family Man hit the nail on the head with the conflict of interest. Prospector 8-bit is probably a securities law that doesn't allow Bitbender to be an insider shareholder or promote that product. Okay, yeah, that also works. I'm guessing he was responding to your comment.
Is that true for every chain? Like every chain that's out there isn't allowed to promote or onboard or tell people to come build on their chain?
I guess if it has their own token, then yes, because then it could technically be considered security. And then how Gala has
I'm just trying to
avoided.
think of like how all these chains are onboarding all these people. Like what is it that they're doing that Gala can't do? You know what I mean?
Or Gala doesn't want to do because it doesn't want to be under the radar of the SEC, and it wants to avoid everything. Because generally over the last couple of years, Gala has tried to do everything in its power to not be on the radar of the SEC. They try and make sure like, oh, we're not an investment, we're not this, we don't do that, we don't sell securities, this and that. So there is quite a lot of that they do previously. And if it is along those lines, then this new company does make quite a bit of sense based on what the comments section has said. But let me quickly read this article to you guys. This is from Binance Square. So it's not like a no-name news source. It's not like a no-name company. And the headline for this is Jason Brink transitions from the CEO of galagames to an unpaid advisor, forms LFG Incorporated. So I don't understand how this happens as the headline, because Bitbender was never the CEO of galagames. That was always Benefactor or Eric Schumer.
Isn't it? Because if you look in the first sentence, it actually correctly positions him.
Ah, yes. According to Foresight News, Jason Brink, also known as Bitbender, and it does say the former CEO of Gala. So I guess Foresight News has had the issue of thinking Bitbender is the CEO of Gala Games, has announced a change in his role at Gala. He will transition from being the blockchain president to an unpaid advisor. In addition, he will lead some members of Gala team to resign from their position. This basically makes it sound like he's told these people to resign and join him in his new external organization, which is LFG Incorporated. This move is aimed to further decentralize Gala. LFG Incorporated will be dedicated to providing services to new partners, introducing new projects to the galachain and node. They keep saying galachain and node ecosystem. It makes me feel like he's just interested in node ecosystems by how much it's emphasized in all of these articles. These organizations will assist partners in planning workloads, nodes, designing tokenomic structures, helping users understand galachain, node technology, providing additional advice for node sales, integrating with exchanges. Oh, so basically what the previous post has said. So that is that article right there. And then we have this post by Jesus Martinez or Classy Games, where he showcases the post. And then you have Bitbender responding to this comment right here. It means Bitbender has other focuses. Gala no longer either had a proper head. All major game development either dropped or outsourced. Focus on being a layer one. So this is the community's viewpoint on this news. It's like, oh, they no longer care about games. It's now a layer one channel. And then Bitbender responds is, you have no idea what you're talking about, man. This means that Gala and the whole ecosystem is now my focus, not just the company. Anyone with two eyes will be able to see this is good news. Good, sir. Most people are viewing it with one eye closed, and they do not see this as good news based on the previous article. They've always like had this weird mark thing as well. It's like, oh, they release a piece of news, they think it's going to go one way, and then it goes completely the other way. Like the blueprint scenarios where you read the line that says they could be more than 50,000 founders nodes, and everybody went like, what? Like, why is this here? Like those type of things. But now that they are LFG Incorporated, the eye patch on Pirate, his name was Nero, Captain Nero. Anyway, back to the post. So there is that, and then we have another post that Bitbender is responding to the same post. So Classy saying, I don't know, I can tell Jason deeply cares about Gala, which I also think Jason does deeply care about Gala, but I'm a bit conflicted on this. On face defo, not good news. So this is what people will see, is like on the face value, it's definitely not good news, because as 8-bit was saying, is like, oh, a lot of people are like, okay, like Miranda's team's gone, this is gone, Bucks is gone, like Miranda's master's gone, like everybody's gone. It's like, if Jason leaves, it's game over. and Jason has just technically left because he's no longer working for Gala. He is now an external advisor. He is now the CEO of his own company, but that company is still in partnership with Gala. But on paper, he is left because he's no longer an employee. So a lot of people have told me like, oh, if Bitbender leaves, it's out. Like I'm out of Gala. And like this news, if they don't dig into it by watching this podcast or like discussing it in the Discord, like quite a lot of people have been doing, they see the face value, and the face value says Jason has left Gala to be an unpaid advisor. And they'll just read that first sentence, and then their brains will start like spinning the wheels, and the cogs will start ticking, like every speculation will start, and that's when it will kick off. So he responds saying, nah, this is good news. This frees me up to grow the ecosystem and not deal with the corporate side of things. So I guess a lot of the issues is with like the Web2 corporate side of how Gala is currently run. And it also frees me up to work more closely with creators in ways I could not previously. So as a creator, this sentence is something I look forward to, depending on what they plan to do and how they plan to do it, because Gala never really did a lot of events with creators. And as we discussed previously, the Web3 space is all about creators, influencers, and the news source of things, right? Because you get all your information, because Web3 is such a small niche, and then Web3 gaming is even smaller niche. The way most people get the information is from a creator, influencer, or like a Discord server, which is owned by a creator or influencer. And that is the majority of the way how information spreads. Now, Gala hasn't exactly done a good job of interacting with those creators, but to be devil's advocate and for Gala's side, they haven't exactly had the best luck when working with creators. They're on like strike 3, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to get to strike 3. We're just gonna like slow down and say no to quite a lot of these things, which indirectly has affected quite a lot of us on the panel. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Any inputs on the couple of posts that we just read?
Actually, I have some questions about some of these comments. So, Prospector is saying it's probably a securities law that doesn't allow Bitbender to be an insider shareholder and promote the product. And then Family Man is also saying all other chains are verified publicly and have third-party developers happy to show their network as they build on the chain. So, like, for example, like when Bitbender was part of Gala, and when he was part of Gala and he was tweeting about Galachain and building on Galachain, was he not allowed to do that? Is that where we're getting at?
Maybe. I think it's more like, you got Polygon, like the Matic Foundation, and then like the Matic actual company that develops. I think it's along those lines. You got like Solana Foundation, like Ethereum Labs, like all of these have organizations.
So like if you go on like Solana's Twitter, like they got a post on May 16th. They're like, come build with us. Over 2,000 opportunities are available in the Solana ecosystem for devs, marketers, and more with the teams, like blah, 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 blah. Come build with us on Solana. And they're like the biggest fucking chain right now, second to Ethereum. So like they're allowed to tell people, come build on our chain from the direct Solana account, but Gala isn't able to do that type of stuff. Is that what we're getting at? I don't understand.
I also do not understand, but I'm guessing Gala sees that as a possible thing that could classify them as a security, and they're avoiding that. Whereas
Solana has 100 times more eyeballs on them than Gala. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be as like a precaution. They're seeing it as like maybe Solana will get in trouble eventually, but that's what
they don't want that risk.
Because I'm like, all these other chains promote building on their chain. You know what I mean? So are they all just breaking the law? Even if they are, it's working though. You know what I
mean? You can't be saying that on a podcast, David. No, but I think it's more of the sense of like, people don't know right now what a securities is. I don't know what you guys in the US are dealing with your American systems and all that. But currently the world runs on the American system, and if what they classify as security, it's going to be classified as a security in quite a lot of the other places as well. So to make sure that doesn't even pop on the radar, I guess Bitbender and Gala and all of that are just avoiding the whole scenario. And then some of these stuff like Solana, as you said, they probably don't care. They're in the mentality of like go fast, break things. Where it's like, we're just going to build this shit. It's going to take over the world, and it's going to be like too big for them to stop. And it is currently working. As you said, like Solana meme coins have popped off. Solana DeFi, Solana Gaming, Solana the chain itself. Like a lot of things that they're building on Solana. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, is the response into quite a lot of these questions, which we're experts at, guys, because all we do in the Gala ecosystem is wait for news or games.
Well, I'm just looking now. I'm looking at all these different chains because, like, even you would think Coinbase is base, right? They would be aware of this, and they're like first pin post. You know, we're inviting builders, creators, brands, and artists to co-create on chain somewhere with, you know what I mean? Like they're all these chains do that.
Yeah, and Coinbase is generally one of the ones that are complying with US security laws.
Coinbase would be like the most cautious.
But yeah, I guess that opens up to quite a lot of scenarios now. We have Prospector in the chat saying Hodgkinson has Cardano and funded, but isn't part of the IOHK, which handles funding development apps on Cardano blockchain. Yeah, so it looks like majority of these like big blockchains have a separate entity that does everything related to marketing for them. And Gala's never had that. So it looks like LFG Corporate is going to be that for Gala. And if it's based on like legal issues, then if all these people already have it spun up and Gala hasn't done that yet, and now that they have a layer 1 blockchain and they're pushing that layer 1 blockchain, they need to start doing it like this, because if they don't do it like this, there's going to be a whole bunch of issues. Then this move makes 100% sense in that aspect. But let's quickly go over some of the comments as well. The Cowboy 2, I agree with Bitbender. Now that he's not under the Gala company, he will be able to show Gala and Gala projects so hard in a positive way that with no hold barred. I guess you could view it as that as well. Family Man says, I think he wasn't allowed to guide the developers with their projects in ways that would directly influence the value of the Gala token. Ooh, that's another viewpoint. Like, because Bitbender joined after quite a lot of some of the major decisions were had at Gala in terms of the node ecosystem and some of these economic models. And he was his title was president of blockchain, but he was like an all-rounder, right? He did quite a lot of things for the whole Gala ecosystem. He covered quite a lot of things. So sometimes I guess they wouldn't listen to his advice or do things like the Web 2 way, and he's trying to integrate it into a Web 3 way, and they're shutting down his Web 3 way because they don't see eye to eye. So now that he's left and become this company, it's going to be all Web 3 and it's going to be like Web 3 focused, and then Gala's going to be Web 2 focused. So now there's a split. But as you said previously, why couldn't they just do all this Web 3 shit under like Gala's umbrella, and then it will be official, like, oh, Gala is doing it instead of LFG Corporated is doing it on behalf of Gala. So there's a lot of questions.
Like what does the Gala Web 2 way look like now? You know what I mean? Like what does that marketing look like exactly? Are we gonna see it, or is it more like gonna be just kind of like B2B type stuff, B2B deals going off outside of the public eye? Because I guess you can consider that a lot of Web 2 marketing or style, you know. But I don't know. It's like I said, there's a lot of questions that come with what's happening, but
there's a lot of questions but no answers.
Hopefully we have a week on we have some more answers rather than just pure speculation.
Well, I'd love to get Bitbender and some of the LFG people on podcast. So I guess I can reach out to them, and whenever they're free, maybe next week or the week after, we can get them on.
He said he would go on Faz, so I don't see any reason why he wouldn't come on here.
What happened with that? Because they were scheduled to go on the other day. They were scheduled to go on like late though, because Faz had an episode at 9 p.m. and then there was another one scheduled for 11 p.m. where Bitbender was supposed to go on. Then it got yesterday to 11:30, and then it never happened. Whenever the last Faz episode was, he had two scheduled, and I thought it was a mistake, but it was like he had a one at 11 set up because he said Bitbender was going to come on, but never happened. So
when I message Bitbender, he says he doesn't do Saturdays, Sundays because that's family days. So I guess the podcast, when we do it, will have to be Monday to Friday. So I guess Friday next week or the week after, we can have, if he's available, get him on and then ask him a bunch of questions and see his viewpoint and how he plans to do things. So I'll get into that after the podcast, message him and see if he's available. Then quickly over the comments before we go into the next couple of posts. Prospector says this just proves that Bitbender is a insider and has a stake in Gala Games. I guess that's one way to look at it. Family Man says, but Galachain is currently entirely in-house and requires a lot of hand-holding for developers. And compared to other chains, the people just build what they want. Yeah, so still in the baby steps, and it looks like the Galachain team is being like overrun with a lot of the requests, and they have to do everything themselves before they can get it working in a sense, or the developers can get their thing up and running. Prospector says, yes, Gala chain is a private blockchain, responding to Family Man. C Money says, you know what this means? You all need LFG on the podcast. Yeah, I'm working on it, C Money. It might have to be after the end of the month. By the end of the month. But yeah, we'll look into that. All right, let me quickly go over some of these other things. So we have this comment on his original post being responded to Cat Me Out. Being an unpaid advisor, enlighten me, sir. Are you planning to resign as well? Is that what it means? And then Bitbender responds, I am resigning from my position as president of blockchain. So this confirms he's resigned from the president of blockchain, and I'm going to be continue to be an advisor. Functionally, this is what I mostly be doing anyways. I don't get paid anymore, and I'm building an external company to help advance Gala chain adoption. And then he's muted this post, so we don't get what it was said. But then he says, because it gives me and my team the ability and freedom to do stuff we could never do at Gala. So we would like to know what this is for clarification. And then, for example, going to an event required executive sign-off and a budgetary approval process. Now I can just go, one of the many examples. So that makes kind of sense. So if you wanted to go to a Web3 event, you need to go through legal, get a sign-off, you need to go through budgetary, I guess that's accounts, get a sign-off, and then go to Eric and get a sign-off. And now he doesn't need to do that. Now he's part LFG. He can just book tickets, go within 24 hours. So I guess that is one advantage.
Yeah, I get that too, but also he was already attending a lot of Web3 events. He's just saying it's just gonna be a smoother process. Like I get that corporate thing where, yeah, you have to sign off with billing and accounting and all that, but at the same light, he was attending those events, and normally in Web3 you know about these events a year or even months in advance. So I guess it just smooths the process out. But he was attending Web3 events already, so it's not like he's going to be able to do something he wasn't able to do, right?
Yeah. But I guess it's more frequent now, so you can go to like more events instead of just limiting it to like one or two. So let me go on to this next bit, which is I just did that one. Next post, which is here. So this reply was hidden by I wish I could actually see this post so we can kind of get context to see what is actually happening. But he's been doing this quite a lot recently.
Replies.
Yeah, it just adds to the mystery, right? If somebody sees this, like if they're not part of the Gala ecosystem, they come on a podcast or they come on X and they see this, and he's like, why have you hid this post? Like, what information did the guy ask for that is bad that you had to hide it? But this is the response. Caterly, because Gala tends to prioritize Gala stuff over external third parties. So these things were happening, but they were slow, which I can 100% agree with. There's a lot of processes. They can be slow in certain aspects. Also, some of the processes at Gala just don't work for Web3. Accounting, for example, operates on a net 60 settlement period, which doesn't work for Web3. If you sell something, you should get paid instantly. Oh, 100% agree with this. I shouldn't have to wait 60 days to get a payment for something that I did for a company. This sort of stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. If you pay like creators to do something for you and you send them they send you an invoice, they should be paid as soon as they get that invoice within like 48 hours. They shouldn't have to send it to an accounting department, wait a 60-day settlement period, and then get paid. So if LFG is taking over like all of this shit that Gala was slow on and Gala couldn't do properly, well, not properly per se, but it was really slow on, and they take over and they do this, I think of it as a game changer and a really good move based on some of the comments that they have said.
But again, like why? Because Gala is essentially a Web3 blockchain company. So why?
Yeah, but it's run like a Web 2
why aren't
company
they able to
based on
do
what
that
we
stuff?
said. True. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like there's this concern now that wasn't there before, because it's like in the beginning, if you go on Gala's website, it's like, oh, we're a Web3 blockchain company. It's like, okay, so you guys are trying to innovate and do things differently. But now what's happening is like Bitbender's kind of confirming that Gala isn't really doing a lot of Web3. You know, they're just this Web2 company.
Yep.
So
I can't remember who said it.
Confirming that.
Most people see Gala as a company in suits. Can't remember who said it, but it was one of these crypto influencers or podcast episode. But it says, yeah, Gala, I see them as like the Web3 company, but they're in a suit. They're in a disguise. They're a Web2 company acting as a Web3 company because they're the suits. Mm-hmm. Can't remember where it was from though, but I remember hearing somebody say that. But yeah, we have that information. And then the final post that we'll cover today is Kagi. So this is basically how a lot of people are taking this news. The Gala game ship is sinking. The president of blockchain at Gala resigns. Gala made billions off the community, and now the ship is sinking like the Titanic. This is a bit extreme because it's from the man himself. If you're in Web3, you know who Kagi is.
KG just likes the rage bait.
Yep. But to be fair, quite a lot of people will read this post or a post similar to this and think that as like, oh, like Miranda's team has left, the Vox team has left, some people were fired, this has happened, and now basically the face of Gala has left. Because Bitbender was the face of Gala. He was everywhere. He was the guy that interacted with all the Twitter spaces, the AMAs, the videos, all of that. You hardly saw Eric on any of them after the first couple of years. Like if you go to their Gala YouTube, you can see Eric and Miranda's Master, McCarthy, and some of the other people there for quite a lot of the first episodes in the AMAs, and then they disappear, and then it was just like Bitbender. So there is that, and this is the opposite side of Twitter, but you can see a bunch of comments here and there. Where is this Web3 game? I think that would make a lot of money, no? Like, they seem to know what they're doing. But yeah, you can read the comment section here and there. So that is pretty much what we wanted to go over. Hopefully people have got information on what has happened in the last week of Gala, what LFG is, what they think, or you have to do your own deep dive until we can get Bitbender or LFG on as a guest. But let's quickly go over the comment section before we wrap things up. It might have to be after end of the month. That was C Money's last comment. They're still a part of the Gala. Oh, they're still part of Gala at the end of the month. Okay, so that makes sense if there's a restriction until like they're still contracted till the end of the month. Oh, so I guess we'll have to wait and see till the end of the month before like the Discord roles start changing every now and again. So OBX Sarepa Prob tied with moving dev team to a new country. Also, Prospector Bam, he was the president of Galagames. Yeah, 8-bit read a bit on security laws. It helps with the blockchain projects are going to survive. And then he also says, yeah, man, when Galagames created a private fork of Ethereum, that was the final unveiling of Galagames being a Web2 company. What do you mean by a private fork? Oh, I guess galachain is referring to a private fork of Ethereum. That was just being... well, see, all these like perspectives and viewpoints on how people view this news is eye-opening. But let's wrap this up, guys. We've been doing this for quite some time, but hopefully we have given you information on what LFG is, more information than you could find by just like digging through Discords and stuff, etc. So Shadow, anything to add before we wrap it up? Yeah, true. And time is something that we're used to waiting on because we're in the Gala ecosystem and all we do is wait for announcements and wait for game updates. What about you, Khaos?
Yeah, no, like Shadow said, it's just a waiting game. So hopefully this new venture that Jason is taking on does help to bring, you know, more awareness, attention, more people into the space, allows him to do it freely. And I think he'll have more time to just focus on that. Like, he was a man who was just like spread all over the gaff. You know, he was in like sometimes you ask Jason, oh, what's going on with music? He's like, I don't know. I don't know. What's going on with films? I don't know. What's going on with games? I don't know. It's like, what do you know? And so it'd be cool for him to just focus on one thing, and that's his goal and that's his task. And then he could do it without the fear of certain people being on his back. So I'm happy that we actually had this discussion because it's kind of like opened my eyes to a lot of stuff that you guys have seen. Because I'm not really in Discord that much. If I'm not playing Helldivers, I'm playing Legendary Born. And like, I remember Shadow sent me a link saying, "Hey yo, Jason said that he's gonna be playing LR. He wants to play LR and shit like that." And I didn't even see that message because I was free. I could have jumped on and be like, "Yeah, I'm free. I'll play some LR with you or whatever." So I'm not really in Discord. So a lot of information that you guys shared today kind of like opened my eyes to what's really going on, give me a little bit more confidence. So hopefully that has helped other people that's watched this podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for setting this up, and thank you 8-Bits for coming on.
And finished off with 8-Bit.
No problem, man. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's I think it might be positive news at the end of the day. There are a lot of questions and concerns. But again, what we do here is we speculate a lot and we don't really have all the answers. But I also think it's good in the sense that Bitbender seems like a cool guy, but he was being tainted by a lot of like the negative sentiment around Gala. And as he claims, a lot of the decisions that I guess the community didn't agree with, he didn't have anything to do with, as per his words. So if that's the case, I think just alone of him being able to separate from Gala and now really not being tainted by any of Gala's bad decisions, in our opinions, is going to be good for him. And already we're seeing some initiatives from him anyway in the creator Discord. So we're already seeing that, he wants to run some sponsored campaigns. And he's listening to some of our suggestions. And hopefully we can make something happen with that. So, right now it's just a waiting game. We see what happens.
We're experts in that, right?
So, yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, him having the final say off on the things that he wants to do now is a massive positive.
Yeah.
Like he's not bottlenecked by a no, or like, oh, you gotta wait 14 days to get a reply from this department. He's free. He's free from the shackles, and he's just gonna do his own thing now. But we will have to wait and see. Finishing off with a couple. Yeah, pretty much. He's fighting giants. He's LFG, right? Let's fucking go. Let's fight giants.
Go to bed.
Yeah, Shadow's going to bed soon. I just want a message from Prospector. He says, I want to apologize to Shadow. I didn't mean to make fun of your SSD blowing up. It was just that I never heard of things that could happen. Bro, we didn't either. Me, Shadow, Khaos, and Shadow's friend Brooks, we were playing Helldivers, and we played like a good 3 hour session of Helldivers, and it was amazing. And then because we're all UK, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we're like, all right, cool guys, it's time to bounce, we need to sleep. And then Shadow and Brooks log off, and then me and Khaos are like, you know what, we should just do one more. So we do one more, and then me and Khaos log off, and then as soon as we log off, we get a message from Shadow saying my computer's died. And we were like, how could your computer have died? We were just playing Helldivers and everything was fine. And then we went back and forth in the conversation. It's like, oh my god, this happened. And it's like, how? You were just playing Helldivers. And it was like a week-long process, but he did manage to get it fixed, and he is here. So thumbs up for that, and you should be seeing more of him now. And that it concludes episode 16 of Guardians of the Galaverse. Hopefully you guys have learned everything that has happened in the galagames ecosystem over the last week. Make sure to follow these wonderful people. All their social links are in the description. 8-Bit should be in the guest section as well, and I will make sure everything is up to date. I'll post the RFLX studio link for the Discord as well, as soon as this podcast goes offline in a couple of minutes in the comment section, etc. And as always, guys, tune in next week for episode 17 of Guardians of the Galaverse. We'll see you then. Peace.
Peace out, guys.